There's so much technology that we just take for granted as the usual, right? You start thinking about webcams and cameras. I mean, they used to be these big, bulky things that were hard to work and hard to operate. And now we have video doorbells, and then we have outdoor cameras. Well, this is an amazing story, the power of technology that can actually, well, it saved their lives. I'd like you to meet Mike and Jen Schlump from Indianapolis, Indiana. Thanks for joining us.
Hi.
Hello.
So I saw the story and I just had to talk to you guys because, man, I mean, what a nightmare this could have been, right?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, it could have been a lot worse than it was, absolutely.
So tell us all what happened.
We were sleeping in the family room of our home at the back of the home because I have been recovering from breast cancer and actually had a surgery. And it was only 4 days past that event. And so we were sleeping and the alert came through on my husband's phone that there was something going on in the front yard. And when he looked down, he saw flames.
Oh my gosh. How big were the flames?
They were much bigger than when I initially saw them. My first thought was, maybe I can put this out. And then immediately was, no way. It was engulfing the entire porch.
Oh my gosh. And then it quickly spread?
Oh yeah, it absolutely. Where we think it originated is on the front porch, and then the garage is attached to that front porch. And it immediately went into the garage, climbed across the front porch, and then up into the upstairs attic, and then started to spread back across the entire house.
That's crazy. And so this was a Ring doorbell, correct?
Yes, ma'am.
And so, you know, for folks who aren't familiar with it, if something happens in the Ring doorbells, I guess you'd say field of view, you automatically get a notification, which you got the notification that alerted you that there was something on the front porch, and you thought for sure that you could just take a garden hose, right, and put that out. So what would have happened, do you think, if you had not had that Ring doorbell?
So we practiced our fire escape plan once we moved into the house. And the plan was to go right out of our bedroom window right onto that porch.
We have a toddler and an elementary school aged daughter. And, you know, they come home from school and they've talked about smoke alarms and how do you get out. And so we'd run through all of the drills and everything. But the backup plan was always to go right over that porch.
Oh my gosh. So really there were a lot of different forces at work here because the kids were actually at your mom and dad's house, is that correct?
Yeah, they were at my mom and dad's house. Yeah, I had just gotten back at about 11 o'clock at night from dropping my kids off when we finally went to bed, and then the notification woke us up at about 1 o'clock in the morning.
We're so glad that the kids were away, that they were not upstairs in the house in their bedrooms. We weren't upstairs in our bedrooms. As the fire grew on the front porch, it obscured our ability to get down the stairs from the upstairs of the house. And the smoke alarms actually didn't even go off until the fire had consumed the whole front of the house because it started on the exterior. So by the time the smoke alarms would potentially have woken us up, the attics were already on fire.
Oh my God.
And it would have really been a difficult thing to try to escape. So we were really grateful that that notification had come through. As scary as it was to look at, we were able to escape the backside of the house.
And so let me ask you, Jen, what's your prognosis? How you doing with breast cancer now?
Things are looking really good. I'm still recovering from the mastectomy. That's a pretty long process. And anybody who's been touched by cancer knows you're never really done.
Right.
I still have chemo to complete through the rest of this year. And then you just kind of follow it with medications, probably pretty much for the rest of my life. But my good news is that after the surgery, they showed I had a complete response to the initial round of chemo drugs.
That's
so
awesome.
So I'm cancer-free right now.
That is awesome. Well, congratulations. Have you gotten any DNA testing done on the girls yet, the kids?
Yes. So I did the genetic testing. They don't know why I presented with cancer so young, but I am negative for those BRCA genes, is what they call them.
Yes.
And so I won't pass it to my daughter or my son. So that's a big relief too.
Yeah, that's awesome. I'm so glad that you did that testing. Thanks for joining us. Thanks for sharing your story. I'm so glad that everything's working out so well for you guys and your family on so many different fronts. And,
Thank you.
And again, thank you for sharing your story with us. Both of you are really an inspiration. You, because Jen, I mean, look at you. You're fabulous, and you're healing, and you're a mom. And you, because you're the guy, Mike, who's standing by next to everybody, and I know for sure you're going to be protecting your family from here on out.
Yep.
You got it. Thanks, guys. We talked a little bit about genetic testing, and if someone in your family has cancer, you really ought to take a look at having a genetic test done. Now, these tests used to be like $5,000, but now for about $250, you can have a full genetic makeup, and it's actually sent to you via email. And where to do that is at color.com. That was actually recommended to me by the folks over at MD Anderson in Houston, Texas, the cancer center there. And you can check it out at color.com. And if you have a story that you'd like to share with us, look no further than komando.com. There's a link at the bottom of every single page that says, Contact Us.